Hey, it's James Raby. We have to say something here, but I don't want to say much. Thanks for listening to the Y105 FM Early Morning Show, Radio On Demand podcast. Love you.
Forever? Who knows? Who knows, right? The world can be a wild and exciting place, but after her loss at the U.S. Open, she retired officially, and she talked about one of the reasons she is retiring.
I've come a long way since last year at Wimbledon, just not sure if that was my last moment or not, and making it a different moment I think is much better. And it takes a lot of work to get here. Clearly, I'm still capable, but it takes a lot more than that. I'm ready to be a mom and explore a different version of Serena. And technically, in the world, I'm still super young, so I want to have a little bit of a life while I'm still walking.
That's something I think about a lot. I think every parent would love to be able to work less, and she has the money to do it. And so often, you see people that are a celebrity realm, whether they're sports or they're actors or whatever, and they don't stop. They don't take a break. They just keep on going because that's what they do. I'm not trying to shame them at all. I'm just saying I think it's great that she's taking that break, that she's slowing down. You got the money to relax. You got the money to do other things and be with your kids. It's a magical time. So I think that's really cool. Good for her. I know a lot of people are like, about her quitting. But it's just let her be. Let her do her thing. It is Y105 FM's early morning show. I call that a smile of the day. It's the Y105 FM Fit. Then it's going to clear up toward the end of mid-morning. High should be near 82. It is 69, and we're feeling fine. It's a What Would You Say Wednesday on the Y105 FM early morning show. Am I the jerkhead crapface for naming my son after my late brother when my dad had already asked me not to? Woof. My older brother died at the age of 17. He and I were very close. We went through a lot together. Our mom got sick and died after we had to watch her fade away slowly. Then our dad announced he was dating 4 months later, and within 6 months of announcing this, he moved his then girlfriend, now wife, in and moved her kids in as well. It was a lot for us. My brother had not taken Dad's moving on and moving the kids in well. He did not like our dad's wife or her kids, and in the 3 years we all lived together before he died, a lot of feelings were hurt and a lot of things were said that left their mark. Then my brother died in an accident. His death symbolized the death of my family in so many ways. Mom's was the first to do that, and then his. That's really sad. A lot of weird feelings are present with my dad's wife and her kids because of how he hated them, and my dad had mixed feelings there also, I think toward the brother she's talking about. When my husband and I found out we were expecting, the first thing we figured was an honor to him would be amazing. My dad jumped in when he found out we were having a boy and asked me not to name the boy after my brother, his son. He said my brother hurt a lot of people before he died, and there was going to be a sort of bitter feeling if I named their grandson and nephew after someone who treated them badly. My dad said, thinking about that, how many times when you're trying to find a name for a child, do you say, no, we can't, Cameron? No. I went to high school with a jerk named Cameron. So I understand what Dad's saying, but it's not exactly like, I went to this school with this guy named Cameron. It was my brother that died. Anyway, my dad said it would be hard for him to, given that when my brother died, he was in big trouble for saying some stuff to my dad's new wife in front of her kids. And that while he loved my brother, he also knew that my brother is a point of pain for his stepkids. Kind of sounds like you're prioritizing you're one set of children for another set of children there, Pop. Anyway, I chose to use the name anyway. I'm not very close to my dad or his family, so in the end, their feelings were not enough for me to bypass honoring my beloved brother. But now, I'm getting poop from my dad and his wife. Well, that's not a surprise. I mean, seriously. They laid out pretty clearly how they felt. They accused me of being insensitive and deliberately awful to her kids who love me and see me as a sister and would so love to be aunts and uncles to my son, but who will have to be reminded of a person who made his hate clear. Am I the jerkhead crap face? I don't think you are. I really don't. I don't think you are at all. Your dad sounds like a real number. Now, grief is something I will not even trample on, right? It's like we handle grief in different ways. Is it good to make a huge life decision, even within a year of losing your partner? No. Nope. It's not. It's good to take time off from any kind of major decision and just let yourself percolate with that grief and go through the steps and stuff. But he did. And sometimes you don't get along. I mean, your dad kind of forced a whole new family on you while he was still grieving. Everyone handles it differently. You didn't handle it that way, but your brother did. And I think it's totally legit to name your son after your brother. Jennifer said, I was named after my late aunt. Based on some comments I've seen, I lived my whole life in her shadow and am nothing more than a living memorial. Get over it. Your dad and stepmom feel guilty because they tried to force a new family less than 6 months after the death of your mother. And unsurprisingly, your brother wanted nothing to do with it. Blaming a deceased 17-year-old kid for your own mistakes is vile, not the jerkhead crap face. Wow. Yeah, you know what? I 100% agree. And I have a feeling there's a whole lot more here going on than just dad not wanting you to name the boy that because, yeah, he has trouble with it. But the other kids, they really have trouble. You know, I'm willing to bet it's mostly dad that's like, no way. And, of course, his new wife. What do you think? 507-292-1053. Is he?
Just like Rhea.
Am I the jerkhead crap face for naming my son after my brother who caused a lot of emotional pain in the family? When dad, after my mom passed away, started dating another woman and then moved her into the house in about less than a year with her kids. My brother didn't take it well. Too many things were said. Then he died in an accident. Hey, it's Y105 FM's early morning show. You calling about the jerkhead crap face? Whoop. Hold on a second. No. How about you?
Yeah, I am. And I think you hit the nail on the head when you said there's a whole lot more to the story than we know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's time for Dad or Grandpa to face his grief and move on.
Right.
He is the one that's holding up the family, not the mom of the little baby that she gave her brother's name to. And Grandpa can make that little boy's life miserable if he doesn't move on. So it's Grandpa's turn to stand up to the plate, walk through his grief, which probably in part is guilt, don't you think?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, grief can wait 20 years to finally get out of you if you don't address it.
Right. And my husband passed away 10 years ago. And every once in a while, I still get mad that he's gone and start to cry.
On our Facebook page, Jennifer Marie said something I thought was really good. She said, as far as the name, your baby is yours, a name as you choose. If you purposefully choose or don't choose a name just to hurt someone, then yeah, you're the jerkhead crap face. If you choose the name because you love the name and want to honor someone, then you're not the jerkhead crap face. Only you know why you did it. And that's what matters.
Amen.
Right? Just brilliant. It is. Thank you so much for calling in. It's Y105 FM's early morning show. My name is James Raby. And a gun stolen last year ended up being used in an attempted robbery by two teenagers under 18. Coming up next in the Y105 FM early morning show News Minute. It's the Y105. A gun that was stolen in August of 2021 ended up being used in an attempted robbery allegedly committed by a 16 and 15-year-old on Monday. By the way, good morning. It's Y105 FM's early morning show News Minute. Around 11 a.m. Monday, the 16-year-old reportedly rolled down the car window he was in, pointed the gun at a young man who was with his father, and told him to hand over his wallet and any money he had on him. Find out how the victim of the crime and one of the kids in the car are connected on the Y105 FM app. Also on our app this morning, appeals court upholds Rochester man's attempted murder conviction. 16-year-old caught traveling 107 miles per hour near Rochester's arrested for DWI. 107. And a popular coffee shop near downtown Rochester has closed. And the rabies shot. This is a local doughhead. A report of gunshots turned out to be a really bad prank. A Denison, Minnesota doughhead, Grandpa, who should be know better, right? He fired 3 shots in the air to scare some campers, claiming it was a prank. The Goodhue County Sheriff's Office offered this reminder. To be clear, making someone think you are shooting at them is not a good prank. You can see the pranks they do suggest right now on the Y105 FM app. Rochester weather for today, it's going to get clear, and then we are going to see a glorious high in the 80s, low 80s, clearing up, and 63 tonight, then tomorrow sunny and 83. By the weekend, we might have some rain. But that's Friday, Saturday. It's so far away. Again, for today, it is going to be clearing up. We'll have just a touch of sun and a high 82 later on. It is 66, and we're feeling like some Chex Mix. Candy left a message on the Y105 FM app with a really, really good reason.
I was about 22 at the time, and I am a female. My hair length has always been about to my shoulders, but never to the middle of my back. And I had just had a son, and he has this habit of pulling hair. Well, he was teething. It was rough nights, and it was about a month of teething straight and getting my hair pulled. And I just decided in the middle of a toothing stupor at 3 a.m., I grabbed the electric shavers and I shaved all of my hair off so he couldn't pull my hair anymore.
Nice!
I had gotten called Britney Spears Jr. quite often that year until it started growing back.
Thank you for leaving that message, Candy. And you're welcome to leave a message on the Y105 FM app. Just hit the little microphone and leave us a voicemail. Now, why am I talking about shaving heads? Well, because Jason Momoa kind of broke the internet yesterday when he showed up with a shaved head. He did it in a video as he was clearing it off the top because...
Shaving off the hair. Doing it for single-use plastics. I'm tired of these plastic bottles. We got to stop. Just goes into our land, goes into our ocean. And just seeing some things in our ocean, it's just so sad. So please, anything you can do to eliminate single-use plastics in your life. Plastic bottles are ridiculous. Now everyone's making the aluminum, which is fantastic. So we're going to keep going. Oh, man. I love you guys a lot.
Jason Momoa on why he's shaving his head. And I tell you something. I was surprised at how much I like seeing my skull. I remember during the pandemic when Jessica and I were doing the show together, she, by video, helped me trim my hair. She had the instructions and stuff where she was, and I tried following them, and I messed up so bad I had to shave my whole head. And I liked it. I really did. I think a lot of folks thought it was freaky and weird, but, also it was pandemic time, so if ever I wanted to try something unusual, that was the time to do it. And I liked the way I looked way better than I imagined I would. Seriously, it also takes all the gray out. Anyway, it's Y105 FM's early morning show. Who's next? It's Kathy. Kathy, why did you shave your head?
I decided abruptly to shave my head my freshman year of college because, well, quite frankly, people had just put all of my personal value on my appearance. And I am not just pretty, I'm smart. And I wanted people to recognize that. My roommate walked in when I literally had half my head shaven, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm shaving it. No one sees my value, so they don't need to see my beauty. They can see my brains, And she's like, "Girl, do it." Everyone was completely shocked. Of course, the people who placed the value on me and my beauty and not in my brains were all like, "Oh my gosh, you should have never done that. Why would you do that?" Everyone else was like, "Oh my gosh, go you, find yourself, find your confidence. Yes, proud of you."
I love it. Excellent statement. Thank you for calling in. It's Y105 FM's early morning show. We're kicking off the 8 a.m. all music hour next. And here's how you can win a brand new furnace from K&S Heating and Y105 FM. It's the Y105 FM first noodle. Have you? It's a noodle shop in Rochester. It's over near Buffalo Wild Wings. And I just had it the other day. Oh my gosh, so good. And they make the noodles homemade there. I mean, like they're hand-pulled noodles. Hi, it's James Raby. It's Y105 FM's early morning show. You can always hear the show on the podcast. Just get it to your phone every single day by subscribing wherever you get podcasts. Y105 FM early morning show radio on demand podcast. And here's why the place is called First Meeting. Because, according to a story, now this is from a translator. My dad was out with a friend who's from China. And probably will be heading back in a year or so. And he was talking to the owner in Chinese. and asked him why. And then he's like, oh, I should have known. And then he told my dad this story, that basically your first meeting with someone isn't when you, hi, how you doing, shake their hand, whatever. That's not when you first get to know someone. It's when you sit down and you share noodles. That's when you really get to know someone. And that's why it's called first meeting. Now, you want to share that story with people? Oh, my gosh, please go to the Y105FM app and share that story. I could really use the numbers. But also, I think it's fascinating because it follows along a simple concept I think we have had in our world, just a bunch of different countries. Over and over again, you hear it. You get to know people when you break bread with them. That's when you really begin to share some more closeness, a bonding experience. Anyway, it's Y105 FM's the Denison Doughhead. Hi, it's James Raby. It's Y105 FM's early morning show. Last time I dug into the Goodhue County Weekly Report, there was a doughhead out of Denison doing dough-headed stuff. I don't remember what exactly. And I just put up another story that is all about the best parts of that weekly report. And one of the doughheads in it is a grandpa from Denison who got in trouble. A report of gunshots turned out to be a really, really bad prank. A rabies shot goes to the Denison, Minnesota dough-headed grandpa who fired 3 shots in the air to scare some campers, saying, oh, it's just a prank. The Goodhue County Sheriff's Office reminds you that, to be clear, making someone think you are shooting at them is not a good prank. A good prank, they said, you could just Google it. And what they put up as a good prank is pretty excellent. And you can see that on the Y105 FM app, along with another rabies shot that I don't have time for right now. But it's a Goodhue County guy that blew a .35. How he's alive after blowing .35? Whew. It's Y105 FM's early morning show.
Here's what you missed on the early morning show.
Hey, it's James Raby. Thank you so much for listening to the Y105 FM Early Morning Show Radio on Demand podcast. I hope you'll subscribe and tune in Monday through Friday between 6 and 10 for more fun than you can shake a stick at.